Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth monthly forecast for April 2025. It's a pleasure to work with you. If you'd like to work with me directly, please check out my testimonials below for my one-to-one consultations. You can also have a video reading with me too, please see below, or please take advantage of my unique special offer. My combination reports of your life roadmap and also your 12-month transits give you an opportunity to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far, but also get a much more intimate understanding of them, but how you can work with these in terms of the upcoming months, the next year, in order to time your moves really succinctly, when to hold off and when to go for it. And there is 30% off. Please see the link below for more. It's a super exciting start for the month for Aquarius. The solar eclipse at the end of last month is in the part of your chart to do with quick communication. And because you are a communicator, that fits with you perfectly. It's also fiery in Aries. And Neptune, the planet of inspiration, moved into Aries for the first time in 163 years at the end of last month. And that's going to be forging a very positive angle to the planet of transformation, Pluto, in your sign. That's all great stuff. But also the solar eclipse doesn't just feed into this month, it feeds into the next 6 months. So whatever it is that you're enthusiastic about, whether it's interacting socially with your friends, whether it's technology, whether it's a business idea, an interest, you can be so bubbly and vivacious over this next half year. And Neptune's going to help you shape your ideas in a very positive way. But there's more. Jupiter, the planet of good luck, the greater benefit, links magnificently to the Sun at the start of this month. So despite the fact that Venus, the planet of money and relating, and Mercury, the planet of talk and thought, are in retrograde in your second house, the sector of self-worth, values and everyday money, right at the start of this month, there are some dazzling possibilities shaping up. But it may require a degree of patience to really see things come to fruition. So some very important discussions can occur at the start of this month. The angle between the Sun and Jupiter is one of astrology's most upbeat ones, a sextile, very enabling. Jupiter for you in house 5 can be great for your social life, great for being more speculative, but it also can be where we encounter joy, and it also can be where you can showcase your individual talent in the most magnificent and self-confident of ways. So a lot to support you there, but we can't deny that Mercury and Venus in retrograde could see you rethinking certain parts of your everyday financial situation. Now for some people that could be cutting back in some ways, being a little bit more thrifty and economical, but it can also create, because Mercury is the planet of commerce, opportunities, Venus the planet of money, to go again on a situation, but reset it, because retrogrades can cause glitches, but also opportunities to find new perspectives, new approaches. So see that. Also from the 9th to the 16th, the Sun is connecting closely to Chiron. If you have felt that your words and your ideas have not always been received as well as they could have been, you may be surprised by how much more you can magnify your message with the help of the Sun's conjunction to Chiron. When the Sun and Chiron are together, it gives people a much greater desire to achieve some kind of recognition. So whatever it is that's important to you, that can be a key strand too. But we can't deny that your ruling planet, your traditional ruling planet of Saturn, is going to be an inherent part of the journey of this month. Now you may know that Saturn is going to be in an exact conjunction with Venus on the 7th and the 25th. If you are discussing contractually a financial matter, you could have to be very tactful but also very patient. you might not get exactly what you want straight away. You also may feel, if you're not having that discussion, that your financial glass is somewhat half empty. So even though the big picture is very exciting, the results might not manifest themselves straight away. But Saturn does operate in another way this month, very constructively for you, forging a brilliant sextile to your modern ruler of Uranus. Think back to those 5 months of 2018 when Uranus first moved into Taurus and clashed with Mars in Aquarius. It was a really tough time for those Aquarius people born early in the period of Aquarius. But then from March 2019, Uranus started to make its way through the 4th house for all Aquarians, and it has continued to do so since then. So for most Aquarians, there's been some kind of change around home or the physical space. You may have done some imaginative improvements. You may have started to work from home. You may have worked from home, gone back to the office. There may have been unsettled conditions around your family life. There may have been separations, quite frankly. But Uranus and Saturn collaborate brilliantly all through this month. And that part of you that has a unique gift to appreciate the best of the past, but also to understand the direction of travel of the future and to find ways to make them work together, is really going to be highlighted. It's just because Saturn applies the handbrake to Venus in such a direct way through the spine of this month. If finance or income have been limited, it might not seem that things are turning round quite as quickly as you would like. But just be aware that Venus, the planet of money, will go direct on the 13th. Mercury is going to go direct on the 7th. So the conversations you're having can start to render outcomes. Now there is a full moon in your sister air sign of Libra of the 13th. For you, that means that your desire to travel, move around, express ideas freely is going to be enhanced. But because Mars, in the part of your chart to do with physical vitality and commitments to others, could mean that if you do feel crowded in a little bit with obligations, that's a full moon that can push you to break out, disrupt what's not working for you, even if it does cause a little bit of upset, to be honest. And on the 18th, Mars moves into your opposite sign. If you go back to the early part of November and through till the 6th of January, Mars was in your 7th house. It may have been a time when you had some important connections, maybe romantically. You may have had a fallout with someone. Mars in the 7th house can make us much more assertive, particularly with the retrograde from the 6th of December. There may have been crossed wires or some kind of misunderstanding. But Mars is back in your 7th house through to the middle of June. Now, if you'd like to bring a notable relationship into your world, that's going to give you a big spark to do so from now until then. But immediately, because on the 19th, the Sun moves into Taurus, your 4th house, where the disruptive Uranus has been, and Mars in Leo goes opposite Pluto in your sign. If there is any politics around a home or family relationship, they really could show up in the second half of this month, particularly through the new moon. For example, perhaps in a family situation, one of you wants to move, one of you wants to improve, one of you doesn't want to move, doesn't necessarily want to improve, but may be unsettled, but circumstances don't allow for a move. Perhaps financially, perhaps because of the needs of other family members. And there could be something that builds a head of steam up. And it's going to be important to have a maximum amount of patience at that point in the month, because you may feel that someone is getting at you in terms of your vulnerabilities or sensitivities, and they might be. And because Saturn's applying to Venus, what's being offered to you may not seem very suitable. But by the 26th, Mercury, which returns to Aries on the 16th, That's very helpful to you. The 26th, it comes out of shadow. The 30th, Venus returns to Aries. So even though there is going to be some intense discussions over ownership, over values all through this month, by the end of the month, I think a much more equitable solution can be found. But don't underestimate just how much you can inspire other people with your ideas, your mode of communication. You really can have a gift for that, which is going to be emphasized hugely pretty well through the rest of this year. If you'd like to understand the exact timings of all these aspects this month, please see underneath this video and you can download a factoid. It's been a pleasure being with you, Aquarius. If you've yet to visit me at my new website, please join me at www.patrickarundell.com. Got loads of goodies to share with you and lots of new exciting features.